and I figured if I could buy more shares, so if it went up, I'd make more money. That was my logic, okay?
There are many people today in the markets. Anyway, keep going. But the silliest lot, the number of people.
Greetings, it's Jimmy here on Friday, actually Thursday, Christmas Day, 6 o'clock Eastern Time, the futures market open. And we're taking a look at silver again. It's up 4.68% right here at the moment. You can see the price here, $75 a share. And we're looking at my 4-hour. My main momentum indicator is the True Strength Index. And we're getting a breakout today, which is what I was pondering earlier this week, I should say. And this is a pretty good signal that we're going to continue to make new highs, and we're likely heading to about 100 and beyond. I think my guess would be let's go to 100 and then retrace half of that back to 75, which is where we're at today. So we're in the acceleration phase as the world discovers that it's out of money and it's printed a bunch of debt that's garbage. So let's look back a little bit in time, go back 2 years. And this is the daily going back 2 years. And I'm going to actually change this to /SIL, which is the 1,000 ounce silver futures contract. And that gives you a picture without any of the drawings in there. As you want to maybe remember that this was what we thought was the big run up to the 50s and those targets we had. Grateful that I was able to take profits on all of this on that day, and I ended up buying back here around these lows when my little 4-hour TSI was making a buy signal. And I had traded my way through this move here, and I left so much on the table. I started my program in January 25, and did my normal thing, trading and taking profits all along. Had I held those shares from back here that were so cheap, I'd have even more accumulated wealth, because in buying back, I bought back at higher prices. So right now, the thing to do is just get in and ride and just sit tight and get out of a trading mentality. We'll look at the weekly. 3-year weekly. This looks like, it could be a bubble, and yeah, we could correct. We could at any moment, if something crazy happens that would cause silver to correct, you could look at a simple retracement from here in the 75s down to, let's just say this low here. 50% replacement would take us back to 51, which was the breakout level. This is a futures contract, so it's a little hard to tell. But in any event, there will be pullbacks, and there will be violent pullbacks. But at this point, to me, it seems that things are just beginning. We'll take a look at the 1-year daily on this one. The TSI is strong and looks like it's even going to take out the high here. There really is no sign of any kind of a sell-off day at this point. $75.06. So we'll take a look at the silver 5,000 ounce contract. the big futures. And again, we are blowing through all of these targets that I had just drawn not long ago. In the 68 zone, you might remember from previous videos, 68 was a kind of a zone we thought things might stop. Here's the original ABC. So we are in blue sky territory, and other than morning sell-offs, which appear to be the way to scare people out, we're going up. And I think we're going to go up for a long time because of all the debt. The BRICS are raising or testing a new unit, they call it, the unit, which is a new currency backed by gold and oil and the Chinese yuan. Basically, this is the bluff being called in the global financial system. So we'll look again, and let's look at the long 180-day, the 360-day 4-hour. What is interesting here is when this, yesterday or earlier this week, when the 4-hour was here, I was thinking, man, this looks like it could be peaking, and we could get that little pullback, another pullback here. But from the look of it, it's actually breaking out, and that 1 day, the 1 day true strength index is actually galloping upward. If we take a look at gold, oops, got them backwards. GC is gold contract. And we look at the daily here. Let's do like a 3-month daily or 3-month daily. What you've got is gold is just beginning to break out. This was Monday, right? Today's Friday, then there's Christmas, then there's Wednesday, Tuesday. On Monday, gold had its breakout. So this is just beginning a move, and there's a target here at 463. But until we get a deeper correction to get a BC leg in this guy, nothing else is but up. Let's look at the GDX. GDX was another one that we're calling this a breakout as well. So here's your high point, a high consolidation, and this is the beginning of your breakout. GDX, I don't know, it's probably trading after hours on Charles Schwab's website. Let me look at see if I get a quote. It should be on here, Thinkorswim. Currently it's at 90. The last price, the day previous was 89.70. So I'm not sure if that's a current real price. It looks like it hit a high of 91. So GDX is also on a breakout. And then if we look at a longer time frame on my TSI momentum indicator, you look at 2 years, TSI is trailing silver. We only crossed back here, So we go up, sideways, 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 and then there's your target up there at 101. Nice target to have, about 10 points higher. So this is very promising to see the daily starting to accelerate these last 4 days. on the 4 hour, let's do a 30-day. Let's see. I don't know if this is trading. We can look at the time and sales, and I don't think there's no trading in this at this moment, except on an aftermarket on individual brokerages. But then we look at the 4 hour, and we're making a swing. This is probably going to, let's see, 90, 70. So this is pretty close to a current price. This is probably going to swing up again. And how do I know that is when you look at 360 days, 4 hour, you have this little consolidation. This looks like a top, but as in silver, this breakout is up and away. $75 an ounce. All right, so let me pause for a minute and see what we can look at. Okay. Again, we're looking at silver. It's starting to go parabolic. Let me see what I can do to look at this 4 hour, because I've seen where the 4 hour TSI is much lower on a different chart. Okay, time. Let's go see if we can go. Excuse me. 1 year. See, and it's not going to give me the 4 hour I'm looking for, but that's okay. Okay, so let's just zoom into this last information. Just do a quick drawing of a regression channel. And this is back October 9th. And we now officially have broken through the regression channel, which I find interesting. That's powerful. If we look at the volume, let's see, overlap volume, show volume. Some pretty nice volume days here in the green. 77,000 contracts. If we look at just SI, silver SI, here again. Pretty good, fair volume, nothing to scream about, but that's all we got to look at. All right. That was 360. This is 180. Take a quick look at gold again. Yeah, gold, the 4 hour TSI has been up in here. So gold has a lot of room to run. And this looks like a top, you want to call it a top, but gold is only up 5/8, so it looks like 0.5%, $26. So it looks like silver is the place to be. And that's what they're all saying on $2 investing. Andy Schechtman. This is generational. Generating generational wealth is what they're saying. So hopefully you're in some of this stuff. My regret was not buying silver every month for the last 10, 15 years. Just go out and buy some coins, buy some bullion, $20. Traded at $20 forever. Then it got to 3,000. And then my favorites, as you know, are AGQ. And AGQ is nicely gapped up today. My buy point was, I was buying and selling all through here, but luckily my buy point was here. I traded for 100% gain up into here, so I was in from the 670 area to the 140 or so area. I bought back in at a higher price, left some money on the table. But here you see AGQ really seeing a nice, powerful move up on my True Strength Index. If you want to learn how to do True Strength Index and learn how I set this all up, I can show you, especially if you're using Thinkorswim. So you've got a nice gap here, 170 to 180, and that doesn't seem right. I'm not really buying this one here, but we'll have to see. It's showing at 167 where we closed, right in there, yeah. So we're up at 180. That's $12, and my market change for AGQ is 1456, up 8% on my tablet, my Thinkorswim tablet. So I'm happy about that. The next one is JNUG. Again, this one is not trading at this moment. This is the Junior Miners 2x leveraged ETF against GDXJ, which is the gold mining junior stocks, which looked kind of like we were going to have a pullback. But I believe this will probably move up from here and hopefully get up to these kinds of highs for a big bust out move into the first of the year and maybe the first 2 weeks of the year. It's hard to hold, but it's worth it. Okay, let's see. Let me change charts here. We can look at some individual stocks. These are some issues that I have. IAG, Wheat and Precious Metals, which is a royalty play. Our Gold is a royalty play. These are all the basically conservative types of gold stocks. And if you can imagine gold and silver up at these levels, when we go to the screener and look at, this is a site called FinViz. Excuse me, we'll look at the screener and we'll go to the gold stocks. This is simply my little universe. We can look at the financial part of the company using these tabs here, sort it by operating margin or profit margin, positive to negative. You now have the most profitable companies in the mining industry. Or royalties, 6.9 billion, Franco-Nevada, 41 billion, RGLD, Royal Gold, 19 billion. And so these companies, this is 114 billion. If you think about the tech market, those multi-trillion-dollar companies, and the size of the gold and silver market means that if money starts flowing into these markets in a serious way, it is going to be mind-numbing. And we look at the charts on these stocks. These again are the most profitable ones. Let's lighten it up. So Franco, all these stocks have a beautiful uptrending pattern, a correction, and more uptrend. Some are a little bit ahead of the others, and some are behind. But all these stocks are the leaders And you can find them on a site called FinViz, Financial Visualization, finviz.com, and you go to the screener and then select the gold stocks industry. All right, my last tip for the day is to look at the technical aspects, which specifically means the RSI. Let's see, it's not under technical, it's under performance. Oh, it was there, sorry. So here's the RSI. A high RSI means the stocks are overbought. These are the names. This is a company that Highcroft Mining, Sprott is invested in that, and that's why it's gone crazy. Watched it all the way up, never got any. Same for AUGO, which is Aura Minerals. And all of these are the flyers. There's the first one that I own. I own that one. I own this one and that one. So everybody's happy. And that is the RSI. So during that last peak that I showed you, back when silver hit 50, these RSIs were in the 90. This is 20, 60 different stocks. Look at the next page. Now the RSIs are in the 60s. They were all down in the 30s and 40s during the last decline. So if you want to be sort of a contrarian, you can look at here's your most oversold, but stay away from these two, NAM and BGL. They're just they're a con game. They shouldn't be on the list. I even wrote the company and said that you shouldn't put these on your page. So. And that's the only one I own on this list. I own a little bit of VGZ. So these will lag, and those RSIs will become RSIs in the 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Okay, that's all I have. It's Sunday, 22 minutes, and not Sunday, but it's Christmas Day. I call it a Sunday because we were closed, quote, earlier today. Okay, this is Jimmy. My phone number is 907-830-8198. You can email me at kaufoodforest, KAUFOOD forest, kaufoodforest at Gmail. And I'm going to sign out here from the Aloha Land, and you have a wonderful Christmas and Mele Kalikilaka. That's Merry Christmas in Hawaiian. All right, see ya. Thanks for the 65 views that I'm getting. Welcome to see a comment or anything like that to see how you like this stuff. Thanks. Take care.